Yeah, man. Like I said on that other shit, man. It's it's a lot of chivalry that I sent home in the form of a letter that is missing. You know what I mean? Uh, y'all seen my chest and shit, my treasure chest. I was sending it home. You know what I mean? Basically, because I know that the people in Chickasha, Oklahoma, when I was in a federal detainee, they used to open my mail and shit and basically reread my shit and probably rewrite it or just use mics that I was feeding other people when I was trying to give people their inheritance and as federal detainees in Chickasha. But like it's one where I was like it's real good where I was explaining the spiritual line between warfare and Christ, how they were saying like Christ, uh, how they were saying how basically Christ wouldn't bow down to another man or something to speak, or how I was explaining he basically was the devil and shit. You know what I mean? It's just like a whole bunch of chivalry. You know, that's chivalry, man, because anything that I write is swords, man. You know, it really is swords. So, you know, I mean, let a person be a fool, you know, because people will kill for the holy motherfucking documents of the holy Corel, so to speak. You know what I mean? People who write that are really supposedly have descent from Jesus himself. You know, they say these people are in London and shit. You know what I mean? Over there in the safe way, out of harm or whatever. But they say that Mary Magdalene was his baby mother, but I believe that Mary Magdalene was his mother, and it's probably his brothers and sisters and shit. You know what I mean? And as I look back, you know, I believe I'm a father of Christ. You know what I mean? A father of David. You know, I end up face down in some apartments called not London Square, but London something, where I was hog tied, and you know what I mean, and abused and beaten by the police and shit. Then taken to St. Anthony's Hospital, where they could stick something, stick a needle in my ass and give me an ass shot so they could say, well, shit, if this nigga speaks up on this, then this nigga's just crazy. You know what I mean? But, you know, I see through all that. And then, like, I think it's in Exodus where you can find the Matrix, how they say, basically the Matrix is nothing but animals and shit like that, your soul. So, you know, I mean, y'all look for it. If y'all really want to find it, search and seek it for yourself. And you might get something that I didn't get out of it. Because, like I said, all this was rote, man. It's just like that corn and that stale wheat and meat and shit that I sent to the house. Motherfuckers just chose to eat it and claim rights to it themselves. You know, because basically, you know, when you dealing with a female that would like try to betray you or give herself to anyone. You know what I mean? That's just the way it goes. Motherfuckers slide in and do them. But, you know, just like the theory of taming, they can't really tame without drugs. They may be able to get some pussy up out of it. But as far as everything that she been doing, you know, it's done with drugs and shit. But I'm trying to clean her up. I'm trying to get her right. But like I said, it's another movie out called Messiah. Now, the Messiah, it's boy, that motherfucker there is like the epitome of pimping, man. That's pimping at its finest, man. This shit on the throne. I know I could live like that because you know I got enough game. You know what I mean? To house women like that. I know if I was to raise bulls and cows and sheep and lamb and goats and shit, it'd be people who come to buy my bulls and my cows and my goats and my chickens and my horses and shit and llamas and camels and shit. They would come from all over the world to buy my shit. I could charge. whatever I want because that's just the way it is, you know. But like I say, man, y'all, yeah, I mean, that's something that'll never leave me. The knowledge of my understanding is the knowledge of my understanding. It'll always be there. Even if I write it and somebody steal it, I might not be able to get that pain back that I was suffering in pain in prison. I might not be able to get that word back, you know what I mean, word for word, but it's always gonna be there. Just like a slave with scars on his back, he always gonna remember that. You know what I mean? He always gonna remember uh, uh, what the blood he was losing and the stripes on his back. They always gonna be there. You know what I mean? Straight like that. They always gonna be there. It's always gonna be in my mind. But like I said, man, I'm losing a lot of blood right now, family that I don't need because, like I said, the bone is the only thing I need, man. Because, like, if you look back in those ancient tombs and shit, how you know a person can be refilled with more blood. That's the seal of a marriage. You know what I mean? I might lose all mine and meet a beautiful princess or a queen or something. And then, you know, I just deal with her family because my family is betrayed. But see, the only problem is I wouldn't be like Joseph. You see what I'm saying? I wouldn't be like Joseph because when I was to come up, if they tried to come to me, I wouldn't fuck with them. I wouldn't give them shit. You know what I mean? I wouldn't give them a motherfucking thing. I'd let the motherfuckers starve to death and die. You know what I mean? Just like a lot of doors in my family been closed and shit. You know what I mean? They actually plot and call meetings on me and shit. So if you feel like I'm somebody that you want to fuck with and you want to be family with and you want to know me, then won't you get at me? Because, like I said, I'm here, man, and I do need some loyalty. Because once I get my confidence back up and I get some females that's gonna really be down for me and not gonna be reporting and running to these other motherfuckers who done sick them and shit and sent them and shit, you know what I mean? It's gonna be all good. Like I said, as soon as I get up out my rest, when I get up out this bed, out these chains, out of this bed full of iniquity, stuck on the gazing stocks. You know what I mean? This is some more shit that I found in the Bible about iniquity, the word iniquity, about it being filthy and dirty. It has a gazing stock. It's just like that gorilla or other animal in that zoo cage, but the gorilla or animal is being tamed to be with another female. That being the emulation of the gazing stock, that motherfucking animal looking at that other female animal wanting to get to her, especially when she's finna breed and shit, but they using her to try to break it. And then the filthiness of it is this is a beast. They can't tame that motherfucker. So the motherfucking cage is full of shit. It's just full. It's just the animal is just walking in its own shit. And you know what I mean. Anytime they throw food in there, you know what I mean, because they actually can't feed it. They just gotta throw the food in there. Uh, the animal may eat some of its own shit, you know. And just like I found some more things out about my grandma and then the men in my family's life, like their husbands and shit, and then the only good ones, then they got rid of them, you know what I mean? Uh I'm finding a bunch of dirt out about my grandma because my grandma had a big wheel. You know, she owned daycares and shit. She owned like 3 daycares. She bought my grandpa several, you know what I mean, barbecue spots and clothing stores. And it was one of these niggas in my family, one of these niggas that was married into my family through one of these women that had more game than I thought they had. And I believe they like poisoned my grandma or something while I was in juvenile boot camp because motherfucker couldn't get close to my grandma to disrespect my grandma like that because, you know, see see the lion's teeth. You know what I mean? They may be like I'm a wolf or whatever, but shit, a wolf gonna eat. It's gonna eat whatever it can eat. A wolf gonna eat whatever it can eat, just like a mice. Just like a mice will eat a frog. You know what I mean? I learned this in the penitentiary because I done seen mice try